Welcome to Standing with Lilies podcasts. Again, I'm your host. My name is Lillian Agu. A lot of times, we all have been bullied at some point in our lives. Today, I have some wonderful guests with me. I have special guest Mary Hammond, who is also on the board of the We Refuse Abuse organization. And I would like to introduce Mary Hammond. Mary Hammond, please be here with me and take a seat. Welcome to We Refuse Abuse. Standing with Lilies podcast.
Thank you.
It's your first time here, right?
Yes, it is.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
I'm
So
excited.
happy. I'm so happy to have you here. And this podcast, as you know, I created it based on the fact that many times women, female and male too, become bullied. It depends on, the criteria, maybe at school, at work, or in the home. But more especially, it affects the weaker sex, they say, the women.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And female girls.
Females
Young
and girls.
Yes.
The name calling, all kinds of things that happen that make people feel like they can't go on and give up, easily. So today, our focus is on bullying. And again, talking about domestic violence as well, because I know many years ago, the reason why you joined our organization was because you yourself was a survivor of domestic abuse.
Exactly.
And we'll just hint on that little part as well. And so I'm very excited. As you can see, the microphones that were here before are kind of damaged for some reason. They're not here today, but we apologize for that. So we are going to continue without that. I'm sure you all can hear me very well. We can always, fix it up and
we improvise.
Improvise.
Sometimes we need to do that.
That's the power of women. We can do anything.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
So in that light, I would also like to introduce another special guest. And this lady, she's a businesswoman and also an educationist. Her name is Kim. Susie Kim. Sorry, Susan Kim. Pardon me. So Miss Kim, if you don't mind, you can step over here and be a part of this discussion.
And I'll move over.
Yes, Miss Mary. Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. Yes, and pardon us for the moves. It's because of the little changes around us. So we had to improvise, like you say. So very many times, bullying is something that affects a lot of people.
Yes, it does.
And understand that bullying, somebody who's been bullied, who's received all kinds of bullying, can actually become suicidal. They can become depressed, and they can feel like life is not worth it. In the news, over many years ago, we've seen a lot of young people who have experienced bullying from their, classmates, or even an employee become bullied by their manager, and you know what happens after that. So this purpose is just to stop bullying wherever it is, and we also need to know the signs. So I would like to leave the mic, although there's no mic today. We'll have Miss Mary Hammond, to share the light on bullying. And thank you so much for being a guest today.
Well, thank you, Lily, for bringing me on to Lilies.
Yes, standing with Lilies.
Standing with Lilies. and as she mentioned, I love Lilies, and standing with Lilies means so much to me because I'm just excited about her. And this subject is so important.
Yes.
We need to talk about bullying. And one example that I'm going to give today had to do with my granddaughter. And my granddaughter went to a school, and it was the school I used to go to in Washington, D.C. Wow. And I had no idea what the things that she experienced until I, actually had to go there a couple times. So she was bullied because she was overweight. Her skin was darkened, and we didn't know why. And as we found out,
she's such a beautiful girl, though.
Yes, she's beautiful. She has a beautiful face, but and everything like that. And we had to keep telling her that, but she still kept getting bullied as a result of that. Once we took her to the doctor, and we found out it was because of diabetes that she was developing. And so once we got that under control, her skin got so much better. And I'm proud to say that she's an 11th grader. She graduated from that middle school, and she's at one of the top schools in DC, Banneker High School.
Wonderful.
And she just recently found out that she got 1,490
Wow.
points
That's
on
awesome.
on the
That's
SAT
incredible.
out of a possible score
Yeah.
of 1,500. And
Aw.
sometimes, so that has helped her. It helped her to become stronger. We did have to put her in counseling, and sometimes counseling is not bad. Counseling helps our young people.
Absolutely.
Counseling helps them to
Absolutely.
understand
Point.
that they're important,
Right.
and that it's not necessarily the bully.
Right.
And this at this time, and when she was bullied, she was not only bullied by young girls, but she was also bullied by young females that were at the school.
Right.
And so
Boys.
she, as a result, she had to learn how to interact. She had to learn how to, and if she couldn't help, she learned how to go to the teacher. And sometimes, she had a lot of times. Sometimes she did have suicidal thoughts. So that's one of the reasons why we did put her in counseling. And sometimes we just don't know what our young people are going through. And
Right.
some of those things that she
They
can't,
go through
she
a
couldn't
lot.
tell.
Yes.
She couldn't tell her parents.
Oh,
So
dear.
that was bullying in that sense. She would be withdrawn,
Right.
but she as a result of that, she studied more. She studied more. She would always come home and do her homework even 2 or 3 weeks prior to when it was due. So, but it did help her. So I'm gonna turn this over back to Lily.
Wow, what a wonderful story.
yeah,
This is why this is so important, for our viewers. I'm sure some people can relate when you're sharing your story about your granddaughter. And, it doesn't stop there. There's a lot of, young men too, young boys
Yes.
who have been bullied. I remember one of my sons, actually my first son, he was bullied when he was in middle school. But because, they say boys don't cry. So he would not, do anything about it. He would not tell anybody until one day, I think a teacher found a girl actually bullying him. And I heard that the girl was punished for that because he always smiled like nothing is happening. You know him. So,
Yes, I
so,
do.
so yes, this is very important. Parents, everybody need to start talking to their kids, and especially parents of younger ones right now, for the next generation, so that bullying can become a thing of the past. Because once your child is a bully, they will continue on up to the highest level of their career, including being a manager or director.
Exactly.
And they take advantage of the people that they lead.
They don't know how to talk
They
to
don't know
even
how to talk.
their employees.
Yes,
And
yes.
So
we
it
need to
comes
stop
into-
that. Look
right.
inward and make sure you're not the bully, sir or ma'am. Think about that because you're hurting somebody else. Thank you. So today I'm going to also allow Miss Susan Kim to give us an insight into that. She's an amazing lady also. Thank you, Susan.
Thank you
for being here.
Thank you, Miss Lily, for having me. What a great opportunity. I'm
Yes.
really honored to be her
Awesome.
guest today. Yes, what I do is I'm an educator. I run the education after school tutoring center, but we do
Wonderful.
more than tutoring at Education One at Rockville, Maryland.
Right.
I've been in education industry for past 20 years, since
Wonderful.
2003. And the reason I am so passionate about helping students, because I think I was a bully at one time, because I came to this country as a immigrant child from
Right.
South Korea
Right.
at 13 years old, 7th grade, didn't understand one word in English, and I had a heavy accent, and I was kind of very shy internal.
Aw.
And there's really nobody can really help me because my parents are busy making ends meet as a new arrival, surviving in this country. So
Yes.
I had to go through a lot of trials and a lot of difficulties and adjusting to this country, language barriers and cultural difference. But my dad and my parents was always encouraging me, Susie, you can do that. You can do better than anyone else. Believe yourself and put your heart and soul into education.
Wonderful.
So what do I
Yes,
do
yes,
now?
yes.
I'm educating our students, and at our center
Unbelievable.
we have about 120 active students from all different ethnicity. We have a
Oh,
student
wonderful.
from
Right.
parents from China as a research or the scientist.
Right.
We have a student from the Ghanaian community, all
Okay.
different ethnicity,
Okay.
and they have one purpose to come to our center because
Yeah.
they want to be better
Yes.
than today through the good education, quality education. And
Awesome.
I believe in education, just like
Yes.
Miss Mary shared about her granddaughter.
Yes,
Yes, education is the future for them.
Exactly.
And instead of a lot of youngsters, they talk about bully or they want to be better than they are. They
Yes.
only look at the short term, right at the moment, but they
Right.
don't really have a long term goal. And
Right.
I always emphasize to our students that,
Yes.
hey, if you really invest, think about what you want to do next 3 years, 5 years.
Yes.
It's gonna lead to next 30 to 50 years of your life will be a better position.
That's
So-
amazing.
Yes,
that's
that's
amazing.
wonderful,
I
Susie.